A deep, resonant chord hums beneath the narrator's voice as the camera sweeps over a private island, emerald palms rustling, waves lapping against powder-white sands. Moonlight glitters on the water like a scattering of diamonds. Somewhere, behind an ornate wrought-iron gate, secrets lie waiting. Before we begin, tell me where you're watching from in the comments. A hush falls. Torch flames flicker along a marble pathway leading toward a cliff-top villa. Crystal chandeliers hang inside grand windows, casting prisms of light onto manicured gardens. If you love billionaire drama, hit like and subscribe. The narrator leans in with a knowing tone. On the brink of dawn, everything changes. A voyeuristic thrill tingles in the air, anticipation of betrayal and longing intertwined. Listeners, brace yourselves. This tale will twist through power, passion, and peril. Silhouetted against the horizon, the villa's towers pierce dark clouds as if defying a coming storm. From here, one wrong step could tip the balance between paradise and ruin. What would you do if your world hinged on a single locked door? Soft wind carries laughter and the clink of glasses from a distant terrace. Somewhere inside, a lone figure paces beneath candlelit arches, heartbeat echoing in the corridors. The scent of jasmine and ocean salt entwines, hinting at both romance and danger. Can you smell the tension? In the distance, a private jet's engine rumbles. Arrivals expected, destinies about to collide. Within these walls, love and ambition are equally powerful currents. Do you sense the undercurrents pulling at the heart? Pause for a breath. Picture a sprawling infinity pool shimmering under lantern light. Flanked by marble statues, its surface reflects both moon and masked intentions. Who stands at its edge? Mind racing against the tide? A hushed whisper drifts over a terrace balcony. Not tonight. Two words loaded with promise and threat. Our protagonist has been barred, denied entry to this dreamlike fortress. The question hangs in the night sky. Why? Tell me, have you ever felt the sting of being shut out, your hopes dangling beyond a closed gate? Comment below with your story. Now, a lingering shot through the villa's soaring glass doors. Empty chairs, overturned champagne flutes, a single red rose petal strewn on a silk carpet. Someone once danced here. Someone was abandoned. Who was it, and why? The narrator's voice dips lower. When love becomes leverage, paradise turns to prison. Listeners lean forward. Will she reclaim what was taken? Will he regret his fortress of solitude? A soft piano notes tremble in the background, mirroring a racing pulse. The camera drifts to a sealed study, the billionaire's sanctum. Inside, ledgers and oil paintings loom, telling tales of fortune and control. What secrets does he guard? Feel the weight of the locked door, heavy iron, cold to the touch. Beyond it, laughter and warmth. Within it, isolation and power. Who wields the I-ite key and at what cost? Invoke the senses. Smell the smoky sandalwood of incense in the lounge. Taste the salt-kissed breeze on your lips. Hear the distant hum of a grand piano. Every detail whispering, this is no ordinary romance. A record crackles somewhere. Then, silences. The stage is set. The players stand at opposite ends of a world built on wealth and want. Which moves first? Listeners, what would you do if you held the key, literally, to someone's only hope? Comment below. Would you open the gate or keep it closed? The narrator's tone crescendos. Welcome to the Isle of Locked Hearts. A final flash of lightning reveals a solitary silhouette by the gate. Footsteps approach. Will the gates open, or will she turn away? Before dawn breaks, one door will finally click. Stay with us, for every secret unveiled carries its own price. Hit that like button if you're ready for midnight betrayals and moonlit confessions. The scene fades to black as distant thunder rumbles. A question echoes. What will happen when the key finds her hand? Moonlight spills across the terrazzo floors of the grand foyer, where towering marble columns soar toward frescoed ceilings. Each pillar is draped in vines of jasmine that brush the opulent crown moldings, releasing a fragrance so heady it clings to your skin. A pair of Art Deco sconces flicker, casting dancer's shadows across a blood-red runner that leads deeper into the villa's gilded heart. Outside, palms sway against the inky sky. Inside, crystal chandeliers murmur secrets in a chorus of refracted light. Can you hear the echo of footsteps long gone? Through arched double doors, the ballroom unfolds like a jeweled box. Walls of Venetian plaster gleam in tones of sunset gold, punctuated by towering mirrors bordered in ebony. Velvet drapes, heavy as night, shield floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the infinity pool, where torches burn with blue flames. A grand piano perches beside an onyx sculpture, its ivory keys untouched, waiting. Somewhere beyond the drapery, laughter and distant jazz hint at opulent revelry. What stories have these walls witnessed? The library adjoins the ballroom via a secret paneled door. Here, mahogany shelves bow under the weight of rare leather-bound tomes and first-edition manuscripts. Between volumes, hidden nooks cradle antique telescopes pointed at a constellation only the privileged know. A desk of Burmese teak stands sentinel beneath a Tiffany lamp, its stained glass petals aglow. On the desk lies a single ivory envelope, sealed, with a crimson wax, its contents unread. Whose correspondence demands such discretion? Fragrant aromas drift from the dining gallery. Enormous eucalyptus wreaths hang above a table set for 20, china rimmed in platinum, crystal goblets that catch candlelight like captured stars. Servers in midnight blue waistcoats glide silently, balancing trays of caviar-topped blinis and champagne coupes fizzing with pearlescent bubbles. Silver-handled forks whisper against fine linen. At the head of the table, a gilded throne chair waits, its velvet cushion bearing the monogram R. Who will claim that seat tonight? A mirrored corridor branches off toward the guest suites. Each door bears a numeral cast in aged brass, echoing the precision of a Swiss timepiece. Behind door number 5, silken linens flutter on a canopy bed, embroidered with the crest of the Rothmandes family. A chaise longue curves beneath an arched window, where white peacocks roam across manicured lawns. The scent of tuberose drifts. From an open vanity, where a crystal decanter of rosewater stands beside a single white orchid. Who sleeps here? Glass elevators encased in polished chrome ascend to the penthouse. Inside, the ceiling dissolves into retractable glass panels exposing the star-strewn sky. Plush sofas in dove-gray cluster around a sculptural fire pit crackling with pale flame. Beyond, a rooftop helipad arches over sculpted gardens of lavender and night-blooming cereus. Here, the world falls away, and only sky remains. Who hovers above the rest of the world? Descending marble stairs lead to the underground spa. Lanterns carved from Himalayan salt emit a rosy glow, revealing mosaic tiles of turquoise and mother of pearl. In the center, a circular pool steams like a moonlit spring. Seamless glass walls open to reveal a grotto of ferns and orchids, where mist drifts like ghostly dancers. A mosaic of gold leaf depicts a phoenix rising, wings outstretched. Who will find solace in these healing waters? Beyond the spa, glass corridors trace the coastline. Aquariums teem with neon tangs, their scales like stained glass in motion. Gentle currents sway underwater sculptures of Poseidon's court. At the hall's end, a sliding door of smoked glass opens onto a private plunge pool carved from volcanic stone. Steam rises, mingling with the salt-kissed air. Who will slip into these shadows? A private screening room lies to the side. Sofa tiers draped in sable velvet face an enormous silver screen. Walls lined with rare film posters promise epic journeys and forbidden romances. A vintage popcorn machine stands in the corner, its brass knobs polished to a mirror sheen. Overhead, recessed lights dim to a deep indigo glow. Who will press play on this theater of dreams? Past the screening room, sky-lit patios yield to an alfresco ballroom. Draped in swaths of gauzy chiffon, its columns entwined with vines of wisteria, this terrace balances on the cliff's edge. Below, the ocean roars against ancient cliffs. Above, constellations shimmer. Candle-lit lanterns float on the water's surface, guiding boats that carry midnight guests. Who will cross that bridge of light? A hidden art gallery lies just off the central staircase. Avant-garde canvases glare down from alabaster walls, each piece more provocative than the last. Sculptures of oxidized bronze twist into human forms, faces frozen in ecstasy or despair. Spotlights trace the contours, casting sharp shadows that dance like specters. A single chair sits before a canvas, depicting a rose torn in two. Who painted that portrait of heartbreak? Fresh sea breezes drift through open lounges. Oversized daybeds, upholstered in oyster-gray velvet, invite languid repose. Low marble tables hold bowls of exotic fruits, kumquats glazed with honey from the estate's apiary, slices of dragon fruit dusted with edible gold. Silver pitchers hold still waters scented with mint. Overhead, ceiling fans stir the humid air, carrying distant strains of a string quartet. Who will rest here? Secret passageways wind through rose gardens beneath trellised arches. Lanterns flicker through climbing wisteria and jasmine, illuminating statues of Roman gods. A fountain plays a lullaby as water spills into black granite basins. Stone benches, carved with the Rothmandes motto, Fortuna fave audaci, beckon. Here, whispers travel through echoing corridors. Who will discover these hidden alleys? In the heart of the island stands the Great Observatory, a domed structure clad in copper. Inside, a massive telescope points skyward, its gears of brass glinting. Charts and star maps line the walls, detailing celestial movements through ages. Nearby, wooden desks hold manuscripts on cosmology and myth. A leather-bound journal sits. At the center, its pages blank. Who will write in these journals under the weight of the universe? Outside, the jungle awaits. A tangle of orchids, ferns, and ancient banyan trees, where moonlight strikes leaves like shards of glass. Stone pathways, slick with dew, wind towards secret shrines and hidden coves. The distant calls of night birds and monkeys echo through the canopy. Among twisted roots, lanterns glow like fireflies. Who will venture into the untamed wild? At the edge of the estate, a lighthouse, whiter than bone, casts its beam over restless waters. Its spiral staircase creaks underfoot, leading to a chamber, filled with relics of shipwrecks, coral-encrusted compasses, barnacled sextants, fragments of driftwood inscribed with forgotten names. From the lantern room, one can see the entire island, a kingdom of light and shadow. Who will climb these steps when the tide is high? Every corner of this private paradise breathes opulence, secrecy, and power. Yet beneath the marble and crystal, desire simmers like a lantern in the dark. Who envisions paradise here? And who would trade it all for a single stolen moment? Comment below. Which opulent detail do you crave most? A distant bell tolls midnight. Somewhere behind these walls, a lone figure pauses, heart thundering against their ribs. Which hidden door will beckon her footsteps tonight? Elena Moreno's world was never gilded. Born in a sun-baked coastal town, she learned to chase dawn across salt-stung docks, her feet blistered, but her spirit unbroken. At 13, she scraped barnacles for pennies. At 16, she sold sunrise paintings at the boardwalk. Every brushstroke held her promise. One day, she'd paint a masterpiece that would transcend her humble roots. Her childhood home, a weathered cottage half sunken by wind and tide, breathed stories in peeling paint and creaking floorboards. Elena's mother hummed lullabies as she patched nets. Her father carved driftwood sculptures by lantern light. They gave her all they had: courage, laughter, the scent of sea air. But when she showed her first canvas at a local fair, whispers followed. Dreams won't pay rent, they cautioned. Elena only smiled. Scholarship letters arrived like miracles. At 21, she left for the city's elite art academy, clutching a battered portfolio. Neon skylines replaced the horizon. Marble corridors replaced salt-worn porches. There, Elena was both marvel and outsider. Her intuition raw, her technique sublime yet unrefined. Professors praised her vision. Classmates envied her authenticity. Still, a hidden ache pulsed beneath every accolade. Would the world truly let her in? Late nights found her alone in the studio, oil-clogged brushes resting against paint-splattered jeans. Moonlight filtered through skylights, illuminating half-finished canvases, faces longing, hands reaching across chasms. Elena poured every heartbreak into those paintings: her mother's failing health, a first love who left for greener pastures, the sting of rejection letters from galleries. With each stroke, she tamed the chaos inside. Her breakthrough came unexpectedly. During a midsummer gala, an off-duty curator paused before her piece, Tides of Memory, and asked one question: "Who are you?" That moment cracked her world open. Orders flooded in. Her name, Elena Moreno, traveled on whispered lips through marble halls and private collections. Yet even as her bank account swelled, self-doubt lingered like ocean mist. Could she claim this success as hers, or was it merely borrowed light? Behind the applause, Elena remained restless. She traded studio nights for midnight swims in rooftop pools, seeking clarity under starlit skies. Each dive cooled the fever of expectation, but never erased it. She wondered, when does ambition become obsession? Is art for sharing, or for saving oneself? And then came the invitation, handwritten on heavyweight parchment, embossed with the crest of Rothmandes Industries. A private island retreat, they said, where artists and innovators would gather to reshape culture. Elena held the envelope, trembling, heart pounding like storm surf. Could this be her chance to belong among the privileged? Or was it the prelude to her greatest trial? As dawn creeps over the horizon, Elena stands before her easel, brush poised above fresh canvas. The envelope lies sealed at her feet. Beyond that seal, a world of crystal chandeliers and iron gates, of promises and peril. What would you do if a single invitation could rewrite your destiny or destroy it? Comment below. Would you accept the call to paradise? First light fractures on the coral reef as Elena's seaplane descends toward Rothmandes Island. Heart racing, she steps onto the dock, invitation clasped in trembling fingers. But the grand gate remains shut, iron bars entwined with jasmine vines, padlock gleaming like a guillotine. No storm warning flashed, no message left behind, only a cold refusal. Elena's breath catches. She presses her palm to the metal, cold as betrayal. Behind her, the sea mist curls, mocking her hope. Where are the welcoming committee? The curator's promise of paradise? Instead, silence answers. A lone lantern begins to flicker, then dies. The dock planks shift beneath her weight. Distant drums echo from hidden groves. Elena's pulse thunders. Someone wants her kept out, but who and why? What would you do in Elena's shoes? Comment below. Elena retreats to a battered rowboat beached on white sand. Waves lap at her ankles, mocking her humiliation. Her invitation, once a promise, now feels like a lie. She presses it to her chest, lips trembling as she reads the curator's name, Lysander Rothmandes. Behind her, Wind-whipped palms lean in, conspiratorial. The sun blazes overhead, offering no comfort. Tears sting her eyes, ashes of doubt threatening to drown her resolve. Yet from the wave's edge, a familiar voice calls. "Paint me a way in," Elena whispers to herself, gathering wildflowers for comfort. Her best friend, Marisol, appears at the tree line, steady amid the chaos. She kneels, offering a flask of cool water and sharp words. "You belong here. They'll regret locking you out." Elena nods, chin lifting. She cannot leave. Her masterpiece stranded. Not now. Have you ever faced a door that shouldn't have closed on you? Share your story below. A thunderclap splits the sky as a sleek yacht glides in. A tall figure steps onto the dock. Lysander Rothmandes in tailored linen, eyes like storm. Clouds. He surveys Elena with detached curiosity, cloak of power drifting around him. "Miss Moreno," he intones, voice smooth as obsidian. "You should have waited in the courtyard." His words slice the humid air. He holds out a gilded key, heavy with promise and threat. Elena's breath falters. Does he offer sanctuary or sentence her? Lysander's gaze flicks to the locked gate, then back to her trembling hand. "Welcome to Rothmandes Island," he says, lifting a brow. "Where paradise has its price." What would you do in Elena's shoes? Comment below. Inside the villa, whispers swirl like autumn leaves. The Rothmandes matriarch, Verena, glides through mirrored halls, cold as frost-kissed marble. She regards Elena with sculpted disdain. An artist? Here? Reporters' lenses flash through windows, voices hum of scandal. Lysander intercepts Verena by a sculpture of Nero. "She stays," he asserts, jaw clenched. "Talent matters more than pedigree." Her laugh echoes, a chime of crystal shattering. Downstairs, servants exchange furtive glances. Alliances shift like sand. Elena senses watchers in every shadow, at the infinity pool, behind closed doors, even in the hidden art gallery. Power and prejudice twist together. Can she navigate these currents without capsizing? What secret alliances do you think are forming behind the scenes? Late one evening, Elena finds Lysander in the observatory, stars reflected in his cobalt eyes. He offers tea on a silver tray, jasmine and moonlight steeped in warmed porcelain. Their fingers brush as she accepts, static crackles between them. He leads her to a hidden art corner, canvases blank yet whispering potential. "This is my sanctuary," he confides. "Only those I trust may enter." Elena's pulse races. Brush in hand, she dares to leave her mark on his domain. By candlelight, they share stories. Hers of tidal dreams, his of inherited empires. Walls lower like sunrise melting ice. Elena's heart flutters. Is this connection or calculated kindness? Can you feel the tension between them? What will happen next? A knock on the studio doors. Marcus Duval, Elena's first love and ruthless gallery owner, stands framed by moonlight. His grin is sharp as broken glass. "Thought I'd find you here," he says, eyes flicking to Lysander's paintings. Elena's breath tightens. Marcus's presence smells of old regrets and unhealed scars. He circles her work, condescending. "Saved by the billionaire, are we?" His words sting like salt water. Lysander steps forward, jaw set. "This is private," Marcus smirks. "For now." He hands Elena a letter. Gallery contract, terms rewritten. "Your dream came at a price. Ready to pay? What would you sacrifice for success?" Next morning, flashbulbs ignite the courtyard. Verena presides, lips a thin line. Marcus stands beside her, brandishing Elena's contract like a weapon. "She's bound to me," he declares. Reporters murmur, "Scandal, exploitation, betrayal." Lysander steps before the crowd, voice ringing. "That contract is void. Elena's art belongs to her." Gasps ripple. Verena's eyes narrow. Cameras zoom on her silence. Elena feels every heartbeat echo in the hush. As tension peaks, Elena raises her hand. "Art cannot be owned by fear," she says, voice steady. Silence falls, a moment stretched across eternity. Then, applause breaks like a wave. What did you think of Elena's stand? Comment below. Under an arch of wisteria, Lysander kneels. With a single rose and a ring carved from driftwood, her childhood's medium reborn. "You unlocked this world," he breathes. "Will you unlock my heart?" Elena's tears glisten in lantern light. She places the ring on his finger, sealing their promise. Around them, lanterns glow like witness fireflies. Verena steps forward, offering a rare smile, acceptance threaded with pride. As they embrace, petals drift like confetti. The sea sighs below. The island exhales relief. Dreams and reality entwine. Elena's art gallery now permanent in the villa, her name emblazoned on opening night banners. Did this moment give you chills? Share your reaction. Months later, Elena unveils a seaside art workshop for underprivileged youth. The villa's gates swing open not in exclusion, but invitation. Lysander stands proud at her side, journal in hand, ready to chronicle their shared legacy. Children's laughter rings through the marble halls as paintbrushes stroke blank canvases. Veronica Rothmandes greets each with gentle warmth, her metamorphosis as profound as any masterpiece. Marcus watches from afar, respect softening his gaze. Elena surveys the scene, brush in one hand, Lysander's in the other. Paradise redefined. Not a fortress, but a haven for hope. What would you paint if given a second chance? Tell us below. The sun sets on Rothmandes Island, lavender sky reflecting on still waters. Elena and Lysander walk the moonlit paths, footsteps in harmony. Their story, of locked gates, shattered contracts, and unlocked hearts, lingers in every breeze. Listeners, thanks for joining this emotional roller coaster. Like, share, and subscribe for the next billionaire love friction tale. What cliffhanger should we explore next? Leave your ideas in the comments below. Until next time, paradise awaits, if you dare to unlock its secrets.